Welcome to Unstoppable Men, episode number 2, a movement for men who refuse to play small in their fitness, family, finances, and faith. So today, it's a Good Friday special, and it's very special to me as it's my daughter's 18th birthday just yesterday. And I'm on the other side of the world here in our home in Bali. My wife and my daughter are back in the United States in LA, and we made a decision last October where we came together as a family because this is a big episode, and I'm going to tie in Good Friday, Easter is tomorrow, but I'm going to share a story about we made a decision on where my wife and my daughter, they wanted to go. They wanted to be back in the USA, and they said, are you coming with us? And I said, I'm not. Yet I will split the time between there and then back here in Bali because I have projects, obligations, and also the fact that my soul is here, surfing on the fitness side of things, and just being out in nature. And it's a whole different ballgame. And we came together. It was a really tough decision, but at the same time, it was the best for each of the family members. With my daughter, she's doing classes, artwork. As you can see, her artwork is all around here. I'm in her studio right now. Our other villa, we're renting it out, and so I'm here with all my 3 dogs, my cat, and I'm sharing this why my wife and my daughter are with their family. My grandmother's there, and I'm tying this all in together because this is something. It's good. It's Good Friday. So I was going to start this episode number 2 with the body. And there's 4 different things for what I've been doing here, the core 4. The core 4, I've been a wake-up warrior for the last 2 solid years, and about 5-6 years just tapping in. And one of the things, living by the core 4s, I said family, faith, finances, and fitness. And I was going to start with body because that's the easiest thing, but I'm like, man, it's Good Friday. How do we tie it in? And the faith side of things, this is really interesting for me because I have never really read the Bible whatsoever until I was 50 years old. I'm turning 51 next month. I'm actually the strongest I've ever been, beating my personal best in strength and from when I was 20 years old. And it's one of those things that we're never too late in life to make decisions to be better versions of ourselves. So I said this is a movement for men because I've been having this calling for, 5-6 years. And it's like, you got to lead, especially during COVID, where there's chaos in this world. And one of the big things for myself was how, if we get into this, COVID lockdown stuff, crazy stuff is happening in the world. I'm like, I have to be the strongest, most fittest person that I can to protect my wife, protect my daughter, protect myself, and also be healthy so I can be living until, 70, 80, 100, I don't know, but doing the things that I love to do. And one of the biggest things that I love to do, and which is why I'm back here in Bali, is surfing. And a little story about this is that I got injured really bad, torn hamstring, big surf, recovered. This was during COVID. I was only at 155 pounds. I was just like this scrawny little yogi. But then I said to myself, I'm like, maybe I'm too old for this stuff when I got pounded by waves and it's in the 15 to 20 foot. And then I had the other voice in my head, call it God, call it what you will, saying, maybe you're just not going the hardest or training the best or eating the best. Why don't you pick up that game? Because if I can't do this, might as well just put myself 6 feet under the ground. So let's go into the Good Friday connection and Easter. I literally have not read the Bible ever in my life. I picked this up on Tokopedia here in Indonesia. I've been reading it every single day for 6 months. And it was from the movement from other men that I saw that they're getting results in all four core areas. And that's the family, the finances, the fitness, and then the faith, God, right? And I said, if it's working for them, let's just test it out, because I've never been religious. I feel like I'm a spiritual person. Never really went to church when I was young because I was forced to do it. And I'm like, well, what's the worst case scenario? Oh, I'm reading a book that's the most read book out of the world. What's the worst case scenario? It's like I'm reading this book that has the knowledge that no other book has in the stories. So I went on this journey, and then what happens every single day, what I'm doing, and this was part of my daily thing. So having this call is part of what I'm already doing. And before I get into the structure of what I do, it's like I want to tie it back into Good Friday. And what does it mean? It's like God, Jesus going to the cross, right? It's about the sacrifice, the pit, the pain, also the silence before the storm. And how I relate this into my own world is that sometimes you have to kill off one version of yourself to become the next version of yourself. And when I made this decision, I remember it was on January 2nd, 2022 or 23. So it's just over 2 years ago. And before you can actually lead, you got to be led. And this was the thing, even in the most dramatic times of my life, to when my father passed away when I was 16, if it wasn't for his death, he knew he had an expiration date, and he took my brother and my sister traveling all around the world because he knew that he was going to die. And during that time, when he passed away, it was also this freeing thing towards like, man, I'm never guaranteed another day of my life. I'm 50 years old. I could get hit by a bus. I could drown out in big wave surfing, a whole bunch of things. And what I've realized that life is about experiences, and you have to push yourself every single day. And then not just one of like your fitness, not just like your family, your business, or your faith. It's like you got to have the whole core force. So I'm just going to be going over, since it's Good Friday, going over the God and just how I've never read the Bible until like 6 months ago. So this is being kind of very vulnerable. I'm sharing this. Not hardly anybody knows it. I don't know, but I'm sharing it right now, and it's good timing. So here's what I'm going to share with you. I was sharing about the core four, and these are the things that I do every single day to get my day started, right? And so one of the things when I wake up, typically around like 4:30, get a little exercise, stretching out, and then I'm reading the Bible. And what I'm doing is I have this daily practice. I'm going to share this method with you for what I do every single day. Since I'm a surfer, I'm going to tie this in. The surf method that I'm going to share with you is S, set up your day for success. The U is uncover, discover, declare. The R is revenue generating activities, and the F is family and friends. So if this is tying it into all the core four, but I do these, start off my day with success. Like for instance, today, waking up, got to bed late last night because I was working actually very late, but I'm still waking up, doing the Bible. Then I went out to surf in Uluwatu, one of the best waves in the world. And then I went to the sauna, cold plunge, treating my body right. And then coming back, prepping, just writing out my scripture of what I wanted to share with you today, because I'm getting this calling of, I have so many different things on my plate, but if I don't do this, it's that like there's something inside that's burning, and it keeps on pulling me down until it's like it's never going to be perfect. But just share this message and know that I've been on this path for the last few years, and I've been diving deeper in it. And like, for instance, just with my body, I went from 155 pounds to about 185. Strongest I've ever been. And it's like, I'm in my, let's say, the second half of your life. To me, it's like, I feel more powerful now as, as a man, as a human being than I've ever felt in my life. And it's coming at the age where you typically, it's like, I'm just too old for this shit. But at the same time, I'm looking at it's like, well, what if we just try a little harder, do more work, push ourselves on all levels, not just one, but all core four. And so here's what I'm going to, for today, I want to share a few things. First of all, the body. If you don't have the body, you're not going to be able to do anything. And this is with all four cores. You have to have each individual one. So now part of my routine of what I do on the body, I'm training at least 5 days a week surfing. Depends on how good the surf is, about anywhere between 3 to 5 times. But I'm doing the things that are going to keep on having my body so I can function with my family, my wife. I've been with my wife now, it's going to be 27 years that we've been together. How crazy is that? Like 27 years. My daughter just turned 18 and feel like she just was born. And we're never getting these moments back. And so tying in the body, this is also like, let's say with Good Friday, it's that pain every single day that you have to go through, right? Do I wake up and say, hey, I want to go train? Typically not. But you got to start doing the things that give you the energy to do more of the thing that you need to do. And it's not an overnight thing. So if you worked out for a month and they're like, oh, I'm going to take off the next couple of months, what do you think is going to happen with the body? This is the same thing that, what you do with your business. You can't just do it 1 month and then take off. Also with my wife, I'm going to share this. This is the family side of things. I have daily practices to where every day, I've been doing this for the last 8 years. And if you get anything from this call today, this is the one big thing. I've been writing every single day to my wife in this gratitude, honor, love and appreciation journal. I have probably about 20 of these that I write every single day. This is just one of my daily practices. But what it does, just think about like a bank. You can't just go to a bank and say, give me $1 million. You got to put deposits in it. So every day I'm putting deposits into my wife and my relationship by writing in this journal. Now I have it here. She reads it sometimes when I'm with her, but it's me putting those daily deposits. Another thing, just for a practice that I do every single day, when I go for a surf, I pick up flowers. In Bali, it's pretty easy. When I was in Beverly Hills with Rhonda and Hanalei, I was picking some big flowers. Probably not what you're supposed to do, but I still bring her a flower. And for me, it's like, these are the special moments. I get more out of it probably than what she does, but I do it every single day. And these are the daily disciplines that once you make it a practice, it's who you are. When I started working out heavily, I've never been fat, right? I've never been. So I don't even know what it feels like, but I've been scrawny and weak. And those daily disciplines of going and having that sacrifice, it doesn't feel necessarily great at the time, but you're looking for the results, right? The reason that Rhonda and I have been together for 27 years, people ask, like, what is your secret? What is your magic? And it's what we've found out, especially over these last 5 years, is by really colliding and sharing what we truly want and not compromising on what the other one is, what the other wants to do. Hear my dogs in the background. So this is the thing to where having open, colliding conversations are so important to the relationship. And what happens is that when we go through these collisions, we also were able to sort it out, and then we move on. So many times that you could live for years, and I used to do this with my wife and I, we didn't talk about it, and then we'd blow up. It's that rage. And sharing with my daughter that my wife, Rhonda, she comes first. I've shared that with her the whole life. It's never the kids first. My wife comes first. And I need to be the best man that I can be in order for when I'm teaching Hanalei. I want her to settle for nothing less than what her dad is. Not what I say, by what I do. Now, am I perfect? Far from it, man. I'm growing every day. And the version of myself that I'm going to be next year at this time would devour who I am right now. I already know that. Same thing with who I was 2 years ago. This person right now, he would crush that person. So it's the daily thing every single day to actually become the better version of yourself. And I'm still a work in progress. One of the things for business, this has been a thing to where this is one of the major reasons why we're doing what we're doing. So back in 2000, I was a robotics engineer for nearly 10 years. I did really cool stuff. We lived in San Diego. It was a pretty kind of like a prestigious working. I even sold Elon Musk actuators for SpaceX back in like 2003 or so. I had cool stuff, but what I remember one time going to a trade show, and it's just vivid in my brain. I remember going to a trade show. It was at the Anaheim Convention Center, and I was walking through early. And I just saw this guy, probably in his mid 30s, and he was slumped over his booth, and you could just see this dude was drained. I have no idea. I didn't even talk to him, but I looked at him and I was like, he's probably a married guy with 2 kids, has a beautiful house in the suburbs, and he's freaking hating what he does. And I didn't know how to I was like, that's going to be me. If I keep on doing what I'm doing, I'm going to get the same results. But it was actually my wife. And this was the thing that tying it into Hanalei before we had Hanalei. My wife, she had a very traumatic moment she was working for a pharmaceutical company, and it was a early morning meeting, and the woman came in, one of the coworkers came in late, and the woman named Jane yelled at the woman, and I only know this because my wife's told it on stage so many times, and I know this story inside and out. He says, "You're late." And she goes, "I'm sorry, I put my 6-week-old baby in daycare." And the boss said, "If you want your job, you're going to put your kid in daycare every day at 7 a.m. and you're going to pick her up at like 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. I don't even know what it was." But she came home that night, and in the morning when we talked, she said, "I'm never putting our future children in daycare." And we just bought $1 million house in the suburbs of North County, San Diego. And I looked at her, I'm like, I wish you would have told me this before we invested both of our incomes. We need that in order to finance what we do. And she goes, "Why don't you get a better paying job?" And what I told her is like, "Why don't you find something you can work online?" Lo and behold, give one thing to my wife, and she ran with it. She ended up finding something, stay-at-home mom. This is back in 2004, over 20 years ago, before digital nomads or any of this existed. But she made a decision that she's never going to do this. And lo and behold, she retired me from my corporate robotics engineering job. But it's these powerful decisions that you make that are going to determine where you go. And when this happened, she retired me. We were investing tons in real estate, had multiple homes, like 5 homes out doing a golf course development deal. And it was a shady dude, stole all the money, not just from us, but from about 20 other investors, bankrupt pretty much everyone, including ourselves. And we had a decision to make. We had a decision. It's like, all right, do we stay here and rebuild and get our corporate jobs back? And my wife looked at me and she goes, "I vowed never to put my daughter in daycare, and Hanalei was 1 year old at that time. And I said, I was reflecting back to when my father died of AIDS when I was 16. I said, we're never guaranteed another day in our life. And on June 3rd, 2008, we made a decision, let's sell all our shit and go travel the world because we're never guaranteed another day in our lives. We both surfed at the time. We're like, let's do this. And we did. Was it easy? Absolutely not. We had people, when we said that we're going to do it, they thought we were crazy. They said, how could you do this to your daughter? She's going to grow up, be a broken person. All these things of fear. And so many times in life that I've not done something because I'm fearful. For instance, having this episode number 2 of Unstoppable Man, I've been putting this off for 5 years because I'm too busy doing this. I'm actually nervous about what I'm going to say. What if I'm a fraud? I'm a liar. But you make decisions and you go with them. And this, when I've been reading the Bible here, and we're on Good Friday right now, every single morning, not only do I read, but then here's the framework of what I do. Is after I read, then I'm like, what did I see? I go through a thing called the Bible Stack, Warrior Bible Stack. And I write out what I actually saw in this particular scripture of what I read today. After that, I go through 3 steps. And I can even show you. I don't know if I don't even know how to do the StreamYard thing, but I can show my screen. I don't know if I have it pulled up. I'm not sure how to do this, but the thing is, there's a framework. It says each one, based on what you saw and what you read, what should you start doing this week? And then I write it out. For instance, what should I start doing this week? I said, I'm going to do 2 episodes per week of Unstoppable Men. And I just got to share what I've been learning to potentially have you guys pick up something, even if it's just that flower for your wife or for your loved one. Writing a little journal like that, just giving some nuggets on the things that's worked for me could possibly work for you. And start doing this week. And then it's like, how are you going to know this is measurable? The next thing is, what is the story you have to tell yourself to make this happen? And I go through that same thing of what should I start doing, what should I stop doing, and what should I retain doing? After that, I go through what's your biggest thing that you learned from this thing? I write it out. And what's the biggest revelation? Write that out. I'm gonna read it. I'm just gonna pull up my thing for today. Let me see if I can show the screen. Present, slide, share screen. Okay. I'm going to show this right now. If I can, entire screen. It says I have to open the system settings. So Zoom, it's open. Google, yeah, I can't do it. I'm just going to read it for you because I have a brand new computer. I don't know how to do the system settings, but I'm going to read it to you what I wrote this morning on here on what the what is my today when I did this just before I came on here. It says, looking how positive this has been. What is a singular lesson on life that you're taking away from this? I said, my deeper connection with God, the clearer path. The clearer my path becomes. I said, this has showed me I have to slow down. I have to open the word and I got to ask better questions. I just don't give insights. I gain direction. This pulls at my attention, but the word anchors my identity. When I move from that place in my body, my balance, my business, everything aligns with power. And the real revelation on this is I don't need any more information. I need deeper connection. And from that revelation, what is that thing that you're leaving this with? I said, sacrifice always precedes resurrection. I said, Good Friday isn't just about a story about suffering. It's a divine reminder that death to the old is the only way to step into the new. Whether it's a version of myself, an identity I've outgrown, or patterns that no longer serve me, something has to die for something greater to rise. I said what it brought home, God's power is revealed most not in the absence of pain, but in the surrender to purpose through it. And the surrender, this is where freedom begins. So that's what I wrote just before I came on here. And what I want to do, I wrote a few more things down. 1 second. And see, I don't have the proper studio. I don't have the thing, but it's like, this is about sending the message. That's my journaling framework. And, the call to action here is like Easter's coming. We got to look into who are you becoming? And you have to kill off another version of yourself to become that new person. So the last thing I read, the verse that I got, I said it was Isaiah 53, number 5. But he was pierced through our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities, and the chastening for our well-being fell upon him. And by this, his scourging, we are healed. So I didn't think I was going to read the Bible to you today. I thought I was going to talk about body and fitness. That's what I had scheduled. And then I made a big 180 because when I was reading this, God's like, hey, you got to talk about this. And here I am. So I'm going to be doing these Unstoppable Men's calls. And if you want any information or details, send me a message, comment below, send me a DM. I can point you in the right direction, and you'll be hearing more. The next episode I'm going to be having is one with one of my family members. I consider him a family member, Fuad Agoro. He's called Abnormal Fitness. And he's Abnormal Fitness because when he comes on the call next week with me, you're going to see why. He's a badass. And he's family, man, from our boy Jabril, who I've known for 20 years now. I remember when we were doing our business and Jabril was marketing with us. I remember Jabril was like, hey, I got to send funds to my brother for his high school track outfit. And I'm like, all right. So anyway, if we're going to continue on, send a message. Want to hear more? Happy Easter on Sunday, tomorrow for me, and happy Good Friday back in the United States. As always, be unstoppable. I'm going to play a video that you may have seen before. I don't know, let's see if I play out. A lot can happen in 5 years. But it wasn't always like this.
I made a vow to never put my child through daycare. I know there's got to be a way.
If you want something bad enough, you have to go after it. Ryan?
I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Hannah.
And we're the Unstoppable Family.
You just can't stop it. Dun, 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 dun.
Dad is even funnier than you.
He's a pretty funny cat. Dog. Cat dog.
Who would expect a girl that grew up in Michigan and a guy that grew up in Illinois would meet surfing in San Diego and then be together ever since?
Welcome to Puerto de la Cruz from the Canary Islands.
Machu Picchu on 4th of July.
Cusco, Peru.
Rio de Janeiro.
Morocco.
And I got my Moroccan beard.
Barcelona.
Driving through Utah.
Florida. Lake Tahoe.
Here we are in the wilderness. This is literally our front yard. Not too shabby of a view.
Looks like
where I'm gonna call my home break at least till the end of the year. Adios, amigos!
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Hanalei.
I love you.
Reflections of 39 years on this beautiful planet. Yes, it's my birthday. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy New Year!
I haven't skied since I've been 12.
When you know you have an expiration date on your life, you know, what kind of decisions are you gonna make?
With Swano with his new haircut, he doesn't look like a dirty hippie anymore.
And don't forget what independence means. It means freedom. Go out and do something wild and crazy. So from the Unstoppable family,
It's good. Life is good. Go out, be unstoppable, learn Spanish, get a map, and remember your board shorts. From rock bottom financially and emotionally,
to traveling the world and giving our daughter education of a lifetime.
still, I feel that our journey has just begun. Wait till you see what's next.